Good morning, ladies. This is Molly, and I am coming to y'all live this early Saturday morning, or it's not that early, but it's kind of early for a Saturday. I didn't even brush my hair. Look at that. I should probably put a little more effort in for you ladies. But y'all, if you were my friend in real life, you'd be coming over to my house, and I'd be in my PJs, and we'd all be comfy because that's how I roll. I had planned to do a video for y'all next week, but so many people keep talking about this week that I felt like I had to go ahead and just talk about it now because it's on my heart, and I feel like I need to just go ahead and put my 2 cents in about something that is coming up for, it seems like, everybody this week. So we keep talking about these things that people say to us when someone dies, the sayings, the things that people say, and the one that keeps popping up is the time yall wounds, which is baloney. We know that, like, you know what I mean? We know that that is not accurate. If you have experienced true, absolute trauma and grief, you know that time itself is not going to do anything. So, good morning, Allie. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're having a good weekend. I just decided to hop on and really didn't prepare, and actually this phone is getting heavy and I feel like I'm shaky. I don't know if I ought to steady myself because now I feel like I'm going to make y'all seasick. What's that about? Anyway, I'm hiding in my bathroom, and there's like animals scratching at the door, and probably kids are fixing to come in here and start begging me for food. Let me see if I can sit down. Okay, so one thing, my friend Elise, tell your roosters I said hey. Yeah, they've already been fed this morning, so they stopped circling the house for now. So my friend Elise, she actually shared this recently this week as well. One of my favorite quotes from one of our mutual mentors, Tom Zuba, about time doesn't heal all wounds. It's what you do with the time, right, that leads to healing. So whenever I've mentioned this before, how that I felt for a while that if I moved on, if I acted happy, if I found something funny and actually laughed or smiled, that I was betraying my daughter. Well, obviously that's not the case. I don't know if you can hear this cat. She's so mad that I shut the door on her. Okay, so time does not in and of itself heal wounds. The thing is it's what you do with your time. So you have to live your life. If you want to heal, you don't have to. If you don't want to heal, if you don't want to feel better, you can stay where you're at for as long as you want. You don't have to, do anything positive. You don't have to do anything but sit and wallow and be sad if you want, right? I mean, that's totally your call. We all have the right, we all have the free will to do what we want with our life. But if you want to heal, when you get to that point where you're like, enough is enough, I'm sick of it, I'm tired of just, I'm tired of wallowing in my self-pity, and I want to do something to feel better. You just make the decision, right? And you start living your life. And it's not like jumping in the deep end of the pool. You have to dip your toe in. And it's baby steps, because you can overwhelm yourself, right? If you try to jump in and do it. It's kind of like if you decided you're going to run a marathon. You are not going to immediately, I don't even know how many miles is a marathon, 26 or something like that. Ridiculous. Runner, weird people. Allie, you probably know the answer to that. You like running. But you wouldn't just get up that morning and run 26 miles, right? You would practice. You would start walking, then jogging, and then running, a mile, then 2 miles. Like, you would have to work your way up to it. Well, it's the same thing with rebuilding a new life while grieving is taking one step at a time. But it's making the decision every single day, making the decision that you're going to do it. So let's see, what else did I have? Some notes that I jotted down, and now I'm like, what did I mean? I don't know what I meant by that. Stop waiting for later to give yourself permission. We're all in different time spans with loss, whether it was our parent or a sibling or our child, whether it was this year, last year, 10 years, 20 years ago. We're all in different time spaces, but that's irrelevant when it comes to making the decision to heal, making the decision to do what you want to do to get better. It all starts with today, making a decision today, giving yourself permission today. That's the first step. You know, making that decision and saying, okay, I give myself permission. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care what anyone else thinks. This is what I'm going to do. And also going back to the whole, when somebody says time heals all wounds, like seriously, I can't help but want to be like super sassy and be like, really? Is that what you're going to say if your child dies? Like, people say ignorant things. So, we can choose to give them grace. We can choose to walk away. We could choose to throat punch them. It's our choice. Whatever you're feeling you need to do that day, or that particular person that says something stupid to you. It's your choice how to respond, right? That's something else I think I meant to talk about too. Something about responding rather than reacting. Hey, you guys, make a mental note for me to add that to my next live. Okay, y'all, somebody remind me. Okay, so stop waiting for later to give yourself permission. You don't need anybody else's permission to make the decision to do what you need to do to heal, to begin healing. Okay, so it's what you do with your time that is what heals. Time itself doesn't do anything. Time itself, if you leave a piece of metal out in the weather, time, in addition to other things, is going to cause it to decay, right? Time causes things to age and decay. So the passage of time doesn't actually help you heal your broken heart. It's what you do with the time. Now, and one of the biggest things you can do, it's pretty much helped me the most, is what I'm doing right now, is reaching out and helping others. Serving others definitely gives you a better sense of, there's always going to be somebody else out there that has it worse than you do. You know what I mean? Like, you think about when you go on a mission trip, or even just going to your local soup kitchen or something like that. It helps you get a better sense of, the world doesn't necessarily revolve around you. There's so much more pain out there, and we have the ability to lift each other up. And knowing the pain that we know gives us a better sense of compassion. It gives us a better sense of empathy, to want to reach out to others who are suffering and hurting, right? It gives, we have that super intense, strong sense of what it feels like to be in pain. And so we're much more compassionate, I want to say, than the average person, just because we know what it's like to hurt. We know what it's like to not have support, right? Let me know. You picking up what I'm putting down? I see a few eyeballs watching. Good morning, ladies. So it's what you do with your time. Grieving in and of itself is an active part of life, not a passive one. So not just all the different things that you can do with your time, spending your time on activities to help you. And I'm not talking about activities to distract you. I'm not talking about keeping yourself super busy so that you don't have time to sit down and think. That's not what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, part of what I'm talking about, of activities that you do that go along with the time to help you heal. When we think about grief, I think a lot of times we just think about the emotions. We just think about being sad. right? We don't think about the fact that it's actions. You actually go through a process with all its ups and downs, with all its twists and turns, individually. Every single person does it differently. You go through actions. Even if your action is literally just to stay in bed for a week, you would think that's passive, but it's not. It's actually a choice. It's actually an action, because maybe that's what your body needs. Maybe that's what your brain needs. And often, I mean, even now, still, I have days where that's what I need. We have time that we have got to stop, and we have to allow ourselves time to rest. And that is part of grief. Not just putting on a brave face, not just moving on, pretending to be fine, plastering a smile on our face. There are times where you do that because it actually is at that moment, the right choice for you. There are plenty of times, day in and day out, where rather than screaming like a banshee and terrifying everyone, I just say nothing. Because there are people and there are places where I don't feel like they necessarily deserve my presence in that way, or that they haven't, not that they don't deserve to support me, but that I just don't feel safe being open. And that's okay, right? That's okay. That's another reason this is a place that is safe for you to talk about your feelings and to find the support, to get the tools to heal, right? Okay. So it's active, and so that means that we are seeking the tools, and we are seeking the actions to move through grief in a way that feels healthy for us. And like I said, it's so individual. And working with clients, that's something I have figured out even more so than before, how individual each of us is. Even though we may have had similar losses, each one of us is still, all of us, our childhoods have been different. Our family structure is different. Where we live, what we believe, our jobs, all of these things, they all are part of what makes you who you are. And so they make your experience different, right? And so then that means that you're going to start at a different place than I'm starting when it comes to trying to heal. So that's what I've been learning, is that it's so individual. That's another reason too that I really enjoy working with ladies one-on-one, because I can structure it individually in that way, for each lady to be able to go through her process, not, being pushed in a way that she's not ready for. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to say about this specific saying, time heals all wounds, when I talk about grief being active and not passive, and when I talk about it's what you do that heals, not just time itself, please hear me. It's about practice, not perfection. I feel like in so many things in my life, because I have found myself to be a perfectionist in a lot of things, you don't even start if you don't feel like you're going to be able to do it right. Does that make sense? How many of you are feeling that? Like, you get it when I say you don't even start a project if you can't do it perfectly. And at work or at home, or with changing your diet or starting an exercise program, you feel like, okay, I'll start, I'll start when I can put more effort into it. I'll start when I, whatever, like just all these excuses. In every single thing in life, in my life as a wife, as a Christian, as a mom, it's about doing the steps, not about being perfect, but it's about practicing. It's about practicing doing what I know I need to do every day, and I'm not going to, hit it out of the park every day, but I know that I did my best, right? And I know that I put the effort in every day. So practice, not perfection. So that's all I have for you this morning. I would love for you to share in the comments too if there's another saying, these sayings that people give us, these like time heals all wounds and all of the other random things that people say because they don't know what else to say, so they say these things because they feel like they have to say something, when in reality, I don't need somebody to say anything. I just need them to look me in the eye, give me a hug, right? That's it. That's all I need. Just some compassion. Okay, so if you can think of something else that you would, that another saying that burns your biscuits and you just, want us to hash it out here, let me know and I'll hash it out. Also, I'm working on a project today. I've decided to start a project today that I've been putting off, and funny enough, that whole practice not perfection thing applies to me today because I'm going to start this project. I will share with y'all how it goes. I don't know how much I'll get done today because I'm not going to push myself to do the whole thing and eat the whole elephant today, but I'm working on something. And I hope that it'll be an encouragement to y'all too whenever I'm able to share it with you. Something that I'm wanting to do that I feel like it's time to, for me and for my family, it's a healing project that I'm working on. So we'll see. I'm going to do the best I can with what I have today and figure out from there. Like, I just have to get started. That's the thing, is just getting started. So I hope y'all have a lovely weekend. Let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay, if this resonated with you or what else you would like for me to share. I have a lot of stuff coming up for you ladies that I hope will be super helpful. And if you feel like you are ready to get started and you are ready to, have that accountability and somebody to hold your hand and, get started, just change, to make the changes that you want to make so that you can start living the life that you want to live today. You can comment below or send me a private message, and we can set up a time to chat and just figure out where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and possibly, if you're ready for commitment to work together, we can do it, because I'm your girl. All right. I love y'all so much, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.